Welcome back to the show. This is a hot segment. A win is a win, even though a win over the Texans should count as half a win. Cowboys 10-3. Dak 24 for 39, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Last one almost cost the Cowboys the game. Brew, was this a good win for the Cowboys?
Look, I'm on the record as saying that any win in the NFL, and throwing the NBA for that matter, in the regular season is a good win. I'm a win is a win guy, and I know Nick is, because the Chiefs always have ugly, close wins.
Well, they got
comebacks, right? But so this is a win is a win. That's good. Mm-hmm. But no, this was not a good win for the Cowboys. All right, they were facing the worst team in football. All right, they didn't sack Davis Mills once. They didn't sack Houston once. That's your team, is the pass rush. You mentioned Dak's 2 interceptions.
Lawrence Taylor must have the game off.
Well, how? Where's Micah been the last couple weeks?
Lawrence Taylor must have the game off.
I hear you. Micah's been AWOL the last couple weeks. And all this did to me is proof. Remember, I said it about a month ago. I said the Cowboys will not win or reach the Super Bowl. They will not win the
So
NFC.
they're written off too.
This was yes.
Long list of brute.
Yeah.
This was evidence.
Yes.
This was evidence to me that they will not reach the Super Bowl, because while their ceiling, I think, is as high, if not higher, than anybody else in the NFC, they are more likely than any other contender to bring their F game on any given Sunday, regular season or playoffs. So I think you can't trust them. They will implode somehow, some way.
Ugly win. It was a good win, though.
I agree.
It was a good win.
Because a win is a win?
No, let me go. Don't.
You got it.
It was a good win. We talked about the Baltimore Ravens earlier before, about a team, and the Philadelphia Eagles, teams that are front runners, that get out front, and man, they don't trail. When they do trail, can they come from behind?
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys played as poor as you could play against a Texans team, in-state rival. It's pride, all of that. They did everything they possibly could do to lose that game, and when they needed it most, both their defense stepped up inside the 5, didn't give up a touchdown, stopped them on 4th down, and then their offense went 98 yards after playing the way that we saw them play all game. It was an impressive win. It wasn't impressive drive. It was a good win. You need wins like that. When you get to 10 wins or the season's over, when have you seen a team say, yeah, that was an ugly win? No. You either win or you lose.
The difference between a win and because they won, you feel like they escaped. Had they lost, it's a disaster.
Yep.
But because, to Greg's point, they got a goal line stand, then had the 98-yard drive. Now, there are still, listen, the Dak interceptions are concerning to me. That when they're coming, how they're coming, the one at the very end of the game that should have set up the Texans' game-winning score is a disastrous decision by him. However, it is hard to string long winning streaks together in this league. I understand the Cowboys probably got a little cocky because they played terribly for 3 quarters against the Colts, and they won the game by 35 points. So they're probably like, we really only need to show up for 1 quarter here, we'll win. Also, a bit of a trap game for the Cowboys because they are hosting royalty next week. I don't know if you've seen the schedule. The prince that was promised does visit Dallas for his first time in his career next week, so they have to look to that, and then the Eagles the week after. Here's what I'll tell you, Wilds.
It's about the offensive
line. As ugly as that game was, it's not about the offensive line. I'm leaving that to you. Wilds was grinding the Terrence Steele tape before the show. He's like, Nick, did you see how? And I was like, listen, I'm going to leave that to you on the air, buddy. Here's the thing. If they beat the prince that was promised next week, which is not a guarantee, but if they do,
they will.
All of a sudden, they are going to be putting massive pressure on Philly. Because Philly has been riding high as the 1 seed all year. And if Dallas wins next week, assume Philly wins next week as well, then when they play each other, the only time that Dak will have played them, it'll be in Dallas, and Dallas wins that game, then Philly knows they have to win out. They have to win both of their final games, or else they will fall to the 5 seed. From the 1 seed, 16-1 league MVP Super Bowl favorites, to the 5 seed. And so, to me, Wilds, it was an ugly win, but the type of win you've got to have if you're going to stay alive for the 1 seed and stay alive as a real contender.
Good.
Well, bring some.
Well, I thought it was a pretty win, to be honest with you. because I think Dak is disrespected. All day today, I heard, Cowboys escape. Dak needs to get better. When Brady plays poorly for the entire game and then comes back and beats the Rams, we're like, oh my God, there goes the GOAT. He did it. When Baker Mayfield plays mediocre with a built-in excuse, like, oh my God, he did it. His career is back. Dak does the same exact thing. You're like, I don't know. Let's focus on the interceptions. That's
Baker Mayfield and the Rams weren't 9-3. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers weren't 9-3, facing the worst team in the league.
He had a 98-yard drive in 239, and we're like,
hold on to that point. But the Eagles were what, 9-1 when they played an ugly, awful game for 57 minutes against the Colts, and then had that long touchdown drive, and we gave them credit for it. I actually think, you know what, Wilds took 24 minutes today.
I'm back.
That's a great point.
Let's go. I'm back. Wait till I talk about the offensive line. Yeah. Eagles rolled the Giants 48-22 in Jersey yesterday. 12-1. Ho-hum, another day in the office for the MVP. 2 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground.
So now he's your MVP?
Well.
Okay.
MVP odds. Hurts has got the gold. Mahomes with the silver. Burrow with the bronze. Brew, has Hurts passed Mahomes as your MVP?
Hold on. Get Brew, before you answer, give America time to grab their Chris Broussard's MVP list so they can update it.
And an almanac.
Because we could have a 4th name on it. So I'm just curious. Okay. Just give them time, guys. America, I've got mine ready. If you guys have it like me, it was Allen for the first 6 weeks. Then it was Mahomes very briefly. Tua for a moment was flirting with it.
No, it was never Tua.
Tua was like, wrote him in parentheses. I just said he was more of an MVP than Tyreek. That's all I said. And then, so are we updating?
So first of all, it would be 3. Let's keep it at that. Secondly, Nick, this is cogent analysis.
Facts.
I don't just say, you know what? Mahomes is my favorite player. I'm from Kansas City. He's always MVP.
Well, you do use the
literally do say you're from 11 places, and that's why
but I analyze those guys. I don't just say, I love him. Look, Mahomes or Allen was the MVP for the first 6 weeks.
Was he?
Everyone knew that. Then Mahomes took over. And you know I love Mahomes. I am known, Nick, as the guy that has said Mahomes is the best to ever do it. You know that. That's all over the place.
I know that, which is why this fickle flip-flop is so unbecoming.
Because I'm analyzing the action as it happens.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what, when you have, I'm an MVP voter.
I know.
And that's what you do. You don't just pick one guy and stick with him all year. You analyze. Right now, it's Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
Nick, I'm sorry.
So
what did Nick just yell from the top of his lungs probably 4 minutes ago?
I didn't yell anything.
It's hard to string together win streaks in it. Their whole season's been a win streak.
Wins are a team stat. Wins are a team stat, bro.
Can I show you something?
Okay. Well, let's say. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to show him a graphic.
Show him, because I'm sure it's
from Peter King. Because not Peter King agrees with you and I that Mahomes is. Excuse me, that Jalen is the MVP. The Eagles, they're explosive in the run and pass games. They've got a quarterback playing with Mahomes-like confidence. In the last 2 weeks, they've beaten 7-win teams by 25 and 26. So there you go. That's undeniable. That's why.
See, but this is what I'm talking about. Why was Josh Allen the MVP favorite? Because he almost beat Mahomes. Why is Jalen Hurts now the MVP favorite? Because he reminds you of Patrick Mahomes.
Well,
and you all have gotten spoiled. You have all gotten spoiled. And everyone's like, oh, there's Mahomes fatigue. He's won the award once. So there's not Mahomes fatigue. But you've gotten spoiled because Mahomes had 2 plays yesterday that would have been the single best play of Jalen Hurts' NFL career. I'll show them both to you. I know you know one of them, but the other one you probably didn't even notice. This was to seal the game, getting annihilated, bam. Against, by the way, another top 5 defense that Mahomes once again, like he did with the Bucks and the Niners, hangs 35 plus on. And then, of course, the play of the year thus far in the NFL.
That's pretty good.
Good play. No look. He sees it coming ahead of time.
Great play.
Flip to Jerick McKinnon. And so, listen, we know the numbers are demonstrative in Mahomes' favor. It's like, well, he has more yards, he has more touchdowns, even when you add rushing. Even if
by 3, and he's got a lot more interceptions, too. He threw as many interceptions yesterday as Jalen Hurts has thrown in 13 games.
And it really hurt the Chiefs. They're 27-0. But the only argument for Jalen Hurts is the team record. That's it. So let's just do a fun exercise, Greg. You can do it with me, all right? Because you're impartial in this, because your MVP is out of the running. Not my MVP. No, Josh Allen was your MVP, and he is out of the running. So let's just go through. Chiefs, Eagles, tail of the tape. Offensive line, who you taking? All go Eagles. Any disagreements? Tell me no. Running backs, who you taking? All go Eagles. Disagreements? Receivers, all go Eagles. Devontae Smith and AJ.
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Okay, AJ
Brown. How about Travis Kelce?
I'm including him in there.
Okay, then you got to go
Eagles.
Eagles.
Okay.
They have AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. Stop it. Front seven, who you taking?
Best tight end ever.
Front seven, who you taking? I'll go Eagles. Any disagreements? Secondary, who you taking? I'll go Eagles. Any disagreements?
No.
Well, then my goodness. Quarterback, who are you taking? That's my question, Chris.
I would take Mahomes.
Okay.
But not for MVP.
Okay.
For best quarterback, yes.
He's leading the league, guys. He's leading the league in yards. He's leading the league in touchdowns. For quarterback wins, folks, he's leading the league in wins over playoff teams. They have the second best record in
Who's got
football.
the best passer rating in the league?
It was Tua until that disaster last night.
All right, Greg, you get the final word.
Look, it's Mahomes right now. When you go up against a champ and you're in the boxing ring, you got to convince me that you can knock the champ out by knocking him out. Now, Jalen Hurts is taking his shots, and they are big blows. But what happens is the moment the champ hits you with one counterpunch, which Patrick Mahomes has always done this. The clip you showed where he flips it underhand and he throws it to McKinnon and he scores, it's like, never mind. That's kind of still why it's Mahomes.
Is it about cute plays? Or is it
not even about cute plays. When you look at the stats, I mean, the stats support it. The wins support it. Like, all these things, you have to be able to convince me. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts isn't on track and he's getting closer. He's putting some body blows in there.
He's putting some pressure on him.
He's putting some body blows in there.
I think Jalen Hurts has a decent amount of Mahomesians play. That's why he has my vote. Coming up next, Tua. Was he exposed last night? We discussed. First things first. Next. He has a lot of Mahomesian play.